Hakuin Ekaku was born in 1686, in Japan's Edo period, a time of both strict social hierarchies and vibrant cultural growth. From boyhood, he lived under the shadow of a powerful fear, the possibility of hellish retribution if he failed to live a virtuous life. Although such fear might seem stifling, it served as the spark that propelled him to become a defining figure of the Rinzai Zen school. He once wrote, "Like a small bird in a snare, I fluttered in terror at every mention of hell's fires, desperate to find a way to be free of this fate." This haunting anxiety and the desperate quest it sparked would shape his entire approach to Zen. He left home at 15 to enter a monastery, believing monastic life might save him from the dread of eternal punishment. Yet the horror only intensified. In his writings, he recalled reading a particularly graphic description of the underworld in a Buddhist text, after which he noted, "Sleep abandoned me, and I trembled as if my heart were frozen by winter winds." Instead of crippling him, this terror crystallized into what he called the Great Doubt, a force that would eventually break open his understanding of reality. Hakuin wrote, "True great doubt can make a coward into a lion. It sears through complacency and demands only the stark truth, with no embellishment." For years, he roamed from one teacher to another, longing for a solution. The turning point came when he tackled one of the most famous koans in Zen. What is the sound of one hand clapping? In his letters to disciples, he recounted how he wrestled with it day and night. He explained, "I battered my skull against that koan until I thought my mind would shatter. There was nowhere to run. Every path led back to the question." Finally, after what he described as an intense period of despair, he experienced a flash of insight. He spoke of it as if a vast door had suddenly swung open, revealing that no boundary separated what he had thought was self and what he had believed to be other. "In that moment," he wrote, "I saw that all the oceans of suffering and all the grasses and rivers in the world rested upon a single luminous ground, like pearls on a thread of light." Rather than cloister himself in the tranquility of a hermitage, Hakuin insisted that true insight must prove itself in ordinary life. In one teaching, he asserted, "Meditation in the midst of activity is immeasurably superior to meditation in stillness, for in the bustle of daily tasks, the mind's habits stand out in vivid display." According to Hakuin, tending to a garden, preparing a meal, or engaging in conversation could become arenas for Zen practice if approached with the same unyielding presence one brings to the meditation cushion. "Let the loud marketplace be your silent hall," he advised, "and let your silent hall echo with the voices of the marketplace." He also grew concerned with what he termed the Zen sickness, the physical and mental imbalances that can arise from intense meditation done without proper grounding. "Many who force themselves into long hours of seated meditation," he wrote, "constrict their vital energies. Before long they sicken, listless and pale, like lanterns whose oil has gone foul." In response, he devised Naikan, or introspection, a practice where meditators systematically visualize healing energy circulating through the body. He insisted that caring for one's health was not a distraction, but an essential complement to spiritual progress, saying, "Body and mind are one fabric. A tear in one is a tear in the other." Perhaps Hakuin's most enduring innovation in Zen was his revival and systematization of the Koan curriculum for Rinzai monks. Before him, koans sometimes served merely as textual curiosities, studied intellectually rather than used as catalysts for direct experience. He labored to re-establish koans as living, explosive questions meant to destroy the roots of dualistic thinking. "The koan is not a puzzle," he reminded his students. "It is a blade that cuts thought. Every time you attempt to solve it with reason, the blade draws closer to your illusions." He structured his monastery's training so that monks would tackle a series of koans, one after another, each designed to illuminate hidden assumptions and push them to deeper insights. Summarizing his approach, he noted, Unless the roots are cut again and again, they will sprout anew. Koans are the gardener's sickle, clearing away the tangled undergrowth of mind. While Hakuin's primary reputation rests on his Zen teachings, he was also a prolific artist and calligrapher who believed painting was an extension of spiritual practice. A single brushstroke done in awareness can pierce the heart of the beholder more swiftly than 1,000 words, he wrote. One of his most recognizable works is the Bodhidharma painting, in which the founder of Zen in China is depicted with fierce, wide-open eyes. Underneath it, Hakuin wrote just one word, mu, meaning no or nothing, an expression tied to another major Zen koan. He taught that such simplicity in art was a form of direct pointing, explaining, "When we sweep away extraneous lines, the essence leaps forth. In mu you see everything all at once, and nothing at all." His teachings reached beyond the cloister, touching the lives of ordinary people. Records show villagers consulting Hakuin about daily hardships, from marital strife to poor harvests, and he often wrote letters of guidance addressing such worldly dilemmas. He once counseled a farmer, "Enlightenment does not reject your labors in the fields, it illuminates them. Plow with your body, but let awareness plow your mind." In another letter, he assured a worried parent, "Kindness born of insight is more powerful than fear. If you offer steadfast compassion, it can outlast any storm your family may face." One hallmark of Hakuin's teaching style was his insistence on repeated experiences of insight. Although he acknowledged the transformative impact of an initial awakening, he cautioned that old habits and delusions could easily resurface. He wrote, "A single glimpse of the moon is wondrous, but if clouds roll back in, how will you recognize its light? Keep clearing the sky of thought until there is no barrier left." This vigilance fueled his conviction that Zen is a continual process of exposing and relinquishing one's blind spots, an approach that set him apart from some contemporaries who treated awakening as a singular, permanent shift. Modern Rinzai Zen, particularly in Japan, owes much of its shape to Hakuin's training system. In academic studies of Japanese religion, he is often hailed as the revitalizer who took an ebbing tradition and reinfused it with sharp practice requirements and an emphasis on direct experience over rote learning. Scholars cite his letters, sermons, and commentaries as pivotal documents that connect medieval Zen ideals to early modern realities. Hakuin himself commented on the importance of adapting while remaining true to the heart of the teachings, remarking, "The Buddha way flows like a river through all lands and ages, never altering its essence, yet ever changing its form so that all may drink." When people encounter the iconic koan, what is the sound of one hand clapping? They often do so without realizing the depth of its historical context and its link to Hakuin's restless search for truth. He personally explained its purpose, saying, "The question is a tinderbox. Bring it into your mind and let it catch fire until it burns away all pretense and confusion." In essence, that koan was an invitation to go beyond surface logic and see directly into what he believed was the ground of being, an experience that sparked compassion rather than withdrawal from the world. Hakuin died in 1769, leaving behind him a tradition steeped in koan practice, a legacy of art that continues to captivate collectors, and a trove of written works that scholars, Zen practitioners, and curious laypeople still study. He offered this reflection in his later years. "I began my journey trembling at the gates of hell. I end it knowing that the mind's capacity for awakening can transform even terror into the purest insight." His life story and teachings stand as a testament to how the darkest fears, when met with courage and unyielding inquiry, can lead not only to personal liberation, but also to a profound renewal of an entire spiritual tradition. If you found this episode meaningful, please share it or subscribe. Watch the next video for more timeless wisdom for our chaotic world.